Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. Excuse my voice, I have no idea what's going on, but it's going to get worse as the video progresses, I promise you. Before we get into the content of today's video, you guys have been asking me a lot about must-read Star Wars Legends books. Well, I went ahead and made an Amazon storefront. Now, you don't have to buy from here, but every single novel on this list is one that I've read on my TapCaf Transmissions podcast and gave either an S or an A ranking to, and I'm very, very strict. The average ranking on the podcast is a C. That's like an okay novel. The only exceptions are a couple that we haven't read yet, but I know I love, like Lost Stars. As I said, though, don't feel the need to buy from this list. You can simply look at the novels and go to your library, but if you do buy something on Amazon following the link, which is down in the description, it does help the channel out, even if it's something not in my storefront. All right, so we are going to technically continue the hashtag AskX series today, and Rajat Barry asks, what are your thoughts and predictions for Disney's upcoming Heir to the Empire and new Jedi Order movies? And I'll be honest, I'm a little concerned. Not so much because I'm someone who really disliked every aspect of the sequels. There was a lot I disliked. I thought the characters were definitely the strongest bit, so if they're going to continue with that and move forward, I think it could be okay. But what I'm a little concerned about is the seeming inability for Disney and Lucasfilm to really get a movie out. You know, Disney is nearly manic in that they announce all of these things and they just sort of are left to the wind. A great example of this is the Rogue Squadron movie. That was initially supposed to launch last year. Now it's who knows. Variety said it was canceled. Earlier this year, Patty Jenkins suggested that no, there's still work on it, but it is definitely in some form of limbo, or at least that's how I see it. Anyway, the news today about the new Rey film is that the screenwriter attached to the film, Stephen Knight, has departed. This was reported by several outlets. Variety is the big one I always look to for concrete confirmation, and they put out their own article reiterating everything and also assuming, and I quote, the delay likely means production won't start until well into 2025 at least. And yeah, I already alluded to Rogue Squadron, but we've seen so many Star Wars movies sort of exist, then flash in and out of reality. Rian Johnson's trilogy, Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie. There's just two things that go through my mind, and one is Star Wars needs to stop announcing things until they're somewhat far enough in production that the train's not going to stop, and that there's something seriously going wrong. I've never heard of a studio with this many movies failing to launch. And maybe that is because Star Wars has been a bit more public about what they want to do. But looking at this film, it's also worth noting that Stephen Knight, you may have heard of him referred to as the Peaky Blinders guy, by the way, was not the original writer. It was originally Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson. So I don't know. They've talked about how they worked on the project and were asked to leave. I don't know whether the current iteration of the film is based on their initial work and some third writer is going to be brought in for a Frankenstein script, or whether, you know, they just need someone to touch things up before production begins. But I sort of doubt it. It just does not look very good at all. It's like my voice sounds right now. Anyway, the film was meant to be released December 2026. There's no chance that happens. Anyway, sorry that I'm moving away in this video from what we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, which has been just all lore, all fun stuff. And I promise tomorrow that we will be back to normal videos. I'll put something out for you guys. But since we're here, I did get another question and I had it saved, but the question was deleted or YouTube hid it for some reason. And it was kind of asking about what my strategy is on YouTube if Star Wars continues to be in this sort of space. So I did think this would be a fun opportunity to give you guys a bit of a channel update and to check in, because that's not something I've done recently. So I think anyone who does Star Wars YouTube probably notices what I've noticed. You know, when I started back in 2017, there were so many YouTube channels just blowing up. There were many already established: Star Wars Theory, Stupendous Wave, Star Wars Explained, I think Lore Master, all those guys were out and kicking. There were lots of full-time YouTube channels, and in those first few years as the sequel trilogy was being released, and especially up until The Last Jedi, it feels like every time I looked there was a new Star Wars channel hitting 100,000 subscribers. And I mean, that was a really fun moment because I was getting to meet all these new people. We were all on the up and up. I remember a lot of the Battlefront 2 events kind of being real highlights for me, and it's just not like that anymore. And I'm not saying it's never going to be like that again, because because it very well may be, but it feels like we're losing full-time Star Wars creators all the time, and that stinks. So I obviously saw the writing on the wall, and I've been doing the best that I could to diversify across YouTube, to take the skills that I learned here and apply them to other passions I have. And some of you may have discovered some of my other YouTube channels. I don't really go out of my way to connect them because, for one, I enjoy the challenge of growing them all on their own, but there's not always as much crossover as you think. But anyway, aside from my largest Star Wars channel, which is not getting the most views a month, it's probably like third or fourth, we've got my Star Wars clip channel, which is called X Clips. I'm sure you've seen that before. We've got my currently dormant gaming channel, X2, but then things start to get a little wild. I've got a hockey channel called Ek, which I get asked about all the time. Is that you? It's funny, locally, that's the one that I'm known most for. Like, I never get recognized by my voice or my appearance for my Star Wars channel, but all the time, whether at Beer League or talking to someone, I get asked if I'm that guy. And yeah, I am. We started that channel, I think 2 seasons ago now. It completely blew up. Very, very fun. We spun off the hockey channel into a football channel, which just started blowing up this month as well, and a basketball channel, which is still building. Additionally, we've got the Marvel channel, which I'm hoping will be something pretty cool in the future. Then there's a couple other things that I'm working on in the background, but a lot of you guys don't know this. We've got a pretty big team here. Obviously, I'm the lead. I think I really know YouTube quite well. I narrate most of the videos when it comes to hockey, especially in Star Wars. I'm also really driving most of the content. Like, I don't script these Star Wars videos. I don't script my hockey videos. But aside from me, we've got Zach, who is kind of my overall assistant. We've got Marmar, who edits for this channel. We've got Charlie. Many of you know he helps with clips and also the gaming channel. I've got Brandon, who does one half of the writing and editing for the hockey channel. I've got Arash, who helps with some of my other social media stuff. Then I also run the football channel with 3 of my childhood friends, and we've got editors and other people helping kind of across the Ek empire. It's really the diversification which has helped me stay comfortable. Obviously, the main channel is the one that I'm the most proud of and will always be the most important to me because I built it. You guys, it feels like, grew up with me in a very real way. And if I could only save one, it would definitely be this one. But it's nice that when things are, you know, a bit quieter, that I can focus on hockey and football and basketball and move this channel to a different state where the views are still pretty good, honestly. But instead of having to talk about a show or review whatever force content or go too deep into news or bullshit like we did in today's video, that we can just talk, even when I sound like dog shit. But that's all I've got for today. If you are subscribed to the other channels, I'll be seeing you later tonight. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys, and may the force be with you. Bye-bye.